welcome to the channel. I'm going to do a release and receive reading today, and then at the end I'm going to do an interactive pick a card just so that you can have an opportunity to use your own intuition to receive a deeper message for your personal experience if you've resonated. And yeah, just have a think about what it is that you've come in search of at this channel or this reading. I am going to start with an essential oil just to get the emotional component of the reading, just because I'm a kinesiologist, that's what I like to work with. It also helps me through the reading to kind of tap into the energy. So I'm just going to muscle test the oil. Patchouli. Very earthy, but very florally as well. So there's a lot of floral components, but it's also very earthy. So just on the first take, it feels like, it almost feels like you need to find some sort of alignment with this heady floral scent and this feeling to anchor in, to be grounded. So maybe you just feel like you're in kind of a bit of a survival mode, or you just need some peace right now. You just need to kind of get your footing. So let's see, we're going to start with an oracle card just for the focus of the reading and see if we can get any clarity. It's actually a really beautiful scent. Can we have a focus for Aries? Oh. 2 cards. Narrow pathway, journey by moonlight. So you've got tread thoughtfully. And then journey by moonlight, it's believe in magic. Wow. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was feeling with the energy of trying to find your grounding and find some sort of peace, because treading thoughtfully, I mean, imagine trying to walk over this tightrope bridge, you know, when you've got so much to lose. But there is like a signal here to believe that there is, even in adversity, there's hope. So, and then you've got this, a different energy of journey by moonlight, you know, believe in magic. You know, it's kind of that believing in what you can't see. You know, it's that other realm. It's that, yeah, it feels kind of like you are in this tightrope of in a survival mode, which I feel like that's why you need some sort of grounding. But that the fact that you also do believe in magic, that it's, you know, the power in that, and that normally you do trust it, and it's just, I guess, kind of maybe like trying to tap into both, trying to tap into the crown chakra and the base chakra and finding your alignment within your current situation. Yeah, very, very interesting energy. But Aries, let's just see what we need to release. Let's see if we can get more insight with tarot. Feels like you've been on this tightrope for a while, so there is that kind of exhaustion, and it's almost like you're reaching that point just prior to surrendering, you know, because fatigue has set in and you have no choice. And but let's see what tarot says. So what does Aries need to release in this story? interestingly, at the bottom of the deck, of the oracle deck, it's clear the past and heal the present, rejuvenating rain. Yeah, it does feel like that healing energy is kind of going to be the energy that washes over you to kind of clear the stress and embrace this this energy or this reality, or because these are two extremes, right? This is like doing it tough, not letting go, holding on to any sort of, you know, it's almost fear-based. And then believing in magic just seems like another realm, right? It's like, whoa, that's just such a large leap. But I believe you're familiar with both operating procedures. I feel like you have pivoted between these two worlds, so you know it well, and you've probably been learning how to rebound both of those throughout your life. And you know, all we can really hope for in this life is kind of closing the rebound recovery period between our trauma and our you know, our joy. So let's see what you need to release. Okay, so you've got the Four of Cups and you've got the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it's releasing this self-doubt. You are getting blocked. You're kind of blocking yourself a bit. You know that you have access to your higher guidance, but you're just not listening at the moment, or you're not in the vicinity to listen yet, because you've been plagued by self-doubt or some sort of apathy even, or just not really sure. Because Nine of Pentacles kind of being in the release situation is that you're not having that confidence. You've kind of lost faith in yourself a little bit on how to keep continuing this journey. But even with the energy of this Nine of Pentacles, it's again another reminder that that's what you own, that's who you have been. That's why you've been able to fluctuate between these two energies. So it is about kind of owning your own self, your own strategies, believing in yourself, so that the days you have to walk the tightrope, you can almost do it blindfolded, because you have this faith and this trust in a higher power, a higher source. It's just that at the moment, that's kind of, there's been an interference. There is, yeah, you're running interference on some kind, some sort of situation. At the bottom of the deck, you've actually got Four of Wands. So it's kind of like, where are you finding your sanctuary net right now? Like, where are you trying to, where are you trying to grip your wheels? Where are you trying to get traction? Where is it that you can go to heal, to feel the rejuvenating rain, to take that time out, to get your clarity, to tap into your higher intuition? And perhaps it's because you can't see the journey right now. You're not feeling or seeing the magic, because your nose is to the grindstone. You're watching every step. You're worried of all the consequences, and you're kind of feeling responsible, and it's shaking your confidence, and you're not even sure where to look for answers, or you might even got to the stage where you believe that there isn't any answers at the moment. So yeah, so it's been exhausting, and it probably is time for rest, or to get some clarity. Maybe even you need to go to nature. Yeah, because you haven't touched the ground for a while. So yeah, I feel like you're being called to remind yourself of where your happy place is. Maybe it is in nature, maybe or you need to be by the water, or, you know, some sort of, yeah, healing, cleansing energies is required. I'm going to see what cards you need to receive, what energy you need to receive. And it's kind of unusual, right, Aries? You know, you kind of like solutions, and you like to go at it, and you like to, you don't want to get in your own way with this either, you know. Sometimes you have to take the respite. Okay, what is it that Aries needs to receive? That Aries needs to receive. Okay, got 2 materials. Got the Justice, and you've got 6 of Voices. So yeah, let's talk about balance straight away, because that seems to be the obvious message. You know, balancing between these 2 worlds. How do you get in touch with your higher self, and how do, you know, your physical self talk to each other? How do you communicate? How do you interchange these energies for your highest good? How do you keep one foot on the ground, but, you know, with your head in your intuition space, trusting and believing in that magic for when you do have to balance everything on one foot, where you are taking the tightrope, where you're walking that narrow path, where you're not sure there's other solutions other than to keep doing the same thing over and over again. But you've got a major arcana here about justice, so it is bringing things into justice. So there's probably other people involved, or other responsibilities that you have, that you've had to almost take that path, because it's, you know, do or die. It's other people's circumstances depend on your reactions to it, or maybe it's your own wellness that's at stake, and you can be dependent on others and whatever solutions they're offering you. I mean, you feel like they're the only ones that you have access to. But like, that's not true. So the Justice card is just trying to bring that your focus into bringing some balance to yourself. You can do this tightrope again. You can walk these narrow paths, but as long as you're choosing the path, because there'll be different paths in front of you, options in front of you, but the trick is to lead your own, to be present in your own. And she's wearing a white dress here, and so is this card. And that is really about your purity of heart and your uniqueness and your essence, and you're the only one that can access all the right answers for yourself. And it's about closing those other voices down, the other people's opinions, and letting yourself emerge, so that no matter what path you take, you're taking the right one because you've chosen it. You're in control of yeah, the steering wheel. And also, I just feel like with this energy, even though she's balancing her 2 worlds, when you're in this energy of believing in, you know, a higher guidance and your own higher self, you can do what's right for everyone without at the expense of yourself, because you are pure-hearted. You have such divine inner knowing, even if you may have forgotten it right now, that you don't even need to take a decision that you feel might be hurting another party or another energy around you. It's that you can find a solution. You can bring balance to the story for a win-win situation. It's not like you have to sabotage someone else's journey just to get your win. That you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the inner peace and the self-assurance to be able to make a win-win situation for wherever it is that you're at, or whoever it is that you're dealing with right now, whether it's work, relationships, etc. You've also got the 6 of Voices, which is the 6 of Swords. So, you know, you have been on a pointy journey. Like, you have had to weave your way through it. You have been walking on a tight rope here of with some real consequences. But the energy is again reminding you that when you can tap into your own intuition, your own third eye, your own higher self, you can find a soft bridge for yourself to cross over, and that you can carry your own ideas and find your own balance, and you'll realize that once you make that small step, you actually don't need such, like, look at the bridges. There's a lot of pathways and bridges in these cards, but you can kind of see with this rope bridge that just feels really insecure, like very unstable. It's almost like you're literally holding your breath and trying to, you know, take tiny steps of complete, you know, you're using every adrenal rush, everything to try and, you know, like get to the other side. But in this card, you know, like how magical is that bridge? It's just a knowing, it's a belief, it's a, she's even like balancing on a fingertip, you know, and not really even needing the handrails, because she knows that the path that she's chosen is for her highest good, and it's being divinely guided, so that it doesn't matter the obstacles that's in the way or the illusions of what's in your pathway. It doesn't matter, because you trust this guidance, and it comes from a very pure space. It comes from a space of love and not a space of fear. And that's why you're able to, if it's a solution you have to solve for another party, you're able to do it with this win-win scenario, because you are full of love and compassion. And sometimes that's worked to your detriment, because you can feel other people's pain. That's why you put yourself second, and you lose confidence in yourself, because you're not you're not even sure why someone that you love can maybe hurt you in return, or why, if it's a work situation, why you're able to give and give and give and go with the flow, but then at some point people are quite able to somehow cut you out of that, or not have your needs met in that story. And you don't really understand that, because you're probably very empathic, and well, my throat's going, so maybe your throat chakra, you know, expressing yourself's been tough. It's been a hard lesson to learn most of your life, because, you know, it's hard to put yourself first when you can see all the angles of other people's pain. You know, you kind of take the hits. And so what the cards are saying is, it's not that you have to take the hits. You can actually lead your path with your wisdom and your intuition and your compassion and your love for others as well, so that there is no win-lose situation. It's all win-win. Wow, that's really lovely, Aries. Really like that message. But I'm going to see if there is a sabotage card blocking this energy. Like, what's the holding pattern? What is it that you can't see right now? What is it that you need to dig deeper into? I'm drawn to the healing, rejuvenating rain again, where it's clear the past, heal the present. So sabotage programs do tend to have been like a scratch CD in our lives, where it's a pattern that we created at a time where that solution was survival mode, and it worked then, it kept us safe then. That's why we value it as a program. But unfortunately it echoes through our lives, because when we meet a similar resistance or a similar story or a pattern or a problem, we remember that program worked once, so we kind of replay that old CD. But what the subconscious hasn't realized is that that's not necessary anymore, and that it's a program that needs to be rewritten. So let's just see what sabotage program, Aries, is keeping you from transitioning these energies. Defeated. Yeah, of course. I mean, it makes sense to kind of what we're saying. It's almost like time is running out, right? Like, you feel like you are against the clock all the time, and it's because you can see both sides of the story. You can see, you want to see solutions for everyone, and sometimes time's running out to find the solutions for yourself. And so it is that feeling of defeated. But there has been a payoff where you've been defeated actually worked for you. It's where you could almost, you know, it's like a poker game. It's like you fold. It was easier to just fold than keep playing the game, trying to win your best outcome. It was like, no, I'm out. But right now, the cards are saying, stay in the game. You know, you've got the solutions. You can win at this. Both parties can win at this. I'm actually going to clarify this sabotage program just to see if we can get more awareness for you. Whoa! Hello. Okay, so we've got quite a few cards here. Let me just get the one from the floor. Okay, so we have 5 of Wands, King of Swords, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, and I think there was a few that flipped. Let me just see. Page of Pentacles. Wow, quite a lot going on here. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, Aries. So 5 of Wands, King of Swords, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles. So it feels to me like when there has been some sort of internal battle with yourself, there's been a powerful energy around you that's kind of cut it down. Like it's kind of, it's like you've allowed an outside power to make those decisions for you. And so then you allow it to offer a new beginning. So you again go into the story where I'm going to offer them a solution because, you know, I can see a bigger picture than they can, and I'm doing it out of love and empathy and all the things that I've kind of discussed. So you make this kind of movement emotionally to try and mend the story. But it's kind of leaving you in a bit of a lack story. Like it's not, there's a new lesson to learn here, because this has totally been getting in your way, where you have kind of felt a bit you know, torn. You're in, you know, that your cup's not full, and then so when your cup's not full, you kind of allow a stronger power to dominate, and so then you kind of try and refill your cup with your love, because you are overflowing with such empathy and love for the people around you. And so you try and move through that path emotionally, but if your cup is empty, it's very hard to turn this story around in your favor. So it's almost like a new schooling for you, a new way of understanding your own sabotage program, understanding that the power you have, if you have like the Ace of Cups power, like if you have this abundance of emotion to give, make sure that you're dispensing it well. So you know, make sure that your love is coming from a pure place and not from a need to please kind of space. We can kind of get a bit, it's hard for empaths, because I empathize with you because I'm an empath. So I understand the ability to always give because we have so much of it and we understand other people's stories. But if it's depleting us, we aren't actually any good to anyone, because if we can kind of sit in this energy feeling defeated all the time and walking this tightrope, like where's our sovereignty to help other people and ourselves? You know, like we hate to say, oh, we're here to help ourselves, but we totally are, because when we do that, our cup remains full and we can continue to give. And that's what our true nature is to do. That's what we want to do. That's why we got into this kind of trouble. but it's really just about harnessing it and getting in line with your higher self, grounding your energy, taking the time out, healing the past, healing the present, getting yourself into that space where you know where your home is, you know the place that you can come back to oh look, you've got the bottom of the receive deck is awakening. It's an awakening of a new you. I can see your throat chakra is opening up. You're ready to take that step, to speak your truth, to see your vision, to make a choice, to I mean, yeah, look, justice, awakening, like this is your time, and you know, you're here to learn it. You're ready to learn it, because these cards wouldn't be showing up otherwise. So it's like taking what you perceive to be a weakness right now, realizing it's your strength, but just shape-shifting it so that you can get a clearer perspective. And this energy here of a win-win, that's the message. Win-win, not give others so that they win, so that they feel better and that you can manage without. No, 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 no. Time's running out for that. You need to bring things into balance for yourself, and don't offer solutions unless you can win at it too. I know, horrible concept. We feel like we can't just give without receiving, but it's an equal exchange of energy. It's not a scoreboard where you're always losing at it. It's a scoreboard where you tap into your higher guidance and are able to see other solutions that hold yourself in a high value. Yeah, sorry, I got a bit carried away there, Aries, but I just really feel like it's a strong message, and it's a message I've had to learn myself. So that's why I really want to call the message home to you, is there is a third way. It's not that we have to lose or let them win. It's that you have the wisdom and the heart space to find a win-win solution when you're in a, you know, a shadow place, you know. It's not do or die. There is a way forward. There is another way. So just ask yourself how you can tap into that higher perspective. Okay, so I'm going to do the pick a card now, which is kind of like a physical kind of remedy, just a way for like our human mind to do something tangible to help us clear some of the blockages. And these are my acupressure cards. So it's based on the meridian system, which is an energy system. So even though the cards might resemble organ energy, I'm not a medical doctor, this is not a diagnosis, so you get the drill. So yeah, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to pick out of 3 cards and see if we can get deeper awareness for you and where you can maybe clear it. Okay, so pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. So guys, just take a couple of minutes to see which you're drawn to. Don't need to overthink it, just see what you can't take your eyes off of. And I'll see you in the reading. They will be timestamped. Okay, so pile number 1, sex, which is actually our like reproductive energy system. So basically it's gender roles, it's how we circulate with others in groups, it's how, like, almost even in friendship groups, it's like how does this fit into your story? Do you feel that which kind of roles, like, let's think masculine, feminine, let's not think male, female, but is there a masculine role that you're dominant in, or is there a feminine role that you're dominant in? And is it out of balance? Can you bring in some of those softer or more assertive qualities? Which ones do you feel you need to work on? And this is a neurovascular point, so it's actually a self-soothing technique. So what I would encourage you to do is just place your hand on the back of your head and hold those points for about 90 seconds would be good, just so that it can clear the circuit breaker, to just and tap into that energy of where it is that you can bring in some sort of balance. It is all about balance, so maybe you do need to balance your feminine, masculine side, and not be leaning one way or the other, which is going to throw you off balance, which is going to throw you off that bridge. So just, or throw you off your path. Just where can you find the harmony in that? I'm actually going to pull you a final message to close this off, to give you more to work with. But you know, take the opportunity. Like, the most active hours of this meridian system is between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. So I don't know, maybe include it in part of your daily practice for the next little while until you feel that you've got some more clarity. See if it helps. Okay, so let's, okay, already. Every thought I think is creating my future. Yeah, right. So again, this is about believing in that magic, right? Believing in your intuition and bringing in those positive thoughts that get you from out of this space to this space. The universe totally supports every thought I choose to think and believe. I have unlimited choices about what I think I choose. I choose balance, harmony, peace, and I express it in my life. Yeah, so we're including the throat chakra here. We're talking about balance again. We're talking about peace and, you know, rejuvenating our energy and harmonizing these qualities within us and giving us that ability, like I said, to make a third choice. It's not win or lose. It can be a win-win, and you just have to bring those thoughts into play. And yeah, this is such a lovely message, Aries. So yeah, I hope this resonates. If it has, I'd love to hear about it. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd love for you to do that. That would be amazing. So until next time, thanks a million. Okay, pile 2, the liver. And this is a neuro-emotional point. So the liver is like our detoxifier, right? When we talk about it in the human body, but it's on the metaphysical level, on a meridian level, it's about our anger thoughts, our toxic thoughts. And so what is it that you need to detoxify? Like, what do you need to release? Yeah, we can hold up a lot of anger with ourselves even. And, you know, a lot of this reading was about maybe having too much concern for other people's feelings and not having enough concern of our own and our own needs. And you know, that can create a lot of you know, bile, or like yeah, it can just really build up, and you might not always be conscious of it, but we can find it getting triggered in small details of our life. So this is a great point to rub. So it's just in the indent of your foot, but don't worry too much about the specifics. Just hold your hand and rub the top of your foot. There's so many points on our feet, in our gates, that prevents us from moving forward. And you know, when we walk, it should be a natural, energizing movement. It shouldn't fatigue you. So when we want to move forward, we should have the energy to do that. So you know, why stop there? You know, just give yourself a foot rub and just, you know, to think about the grounding aspect of it. Think about wanting to move forward, thinking about what you can leave behind and what you can move towards. And maybe include that in your daily practice, just, you know, for the next little while, and see if you gain any benefit from it. I'm also going to end it with a final message for you, pile number 2. If these points are tender, I would encourage you to continue rubbing until they dissipate. It just indicates that there is some stress in that area or a blockage. So there you go. And if you need any advice, just send me a comment, or, you know, I'm happy to give you some advice if I can. Okay, so let's have the final card. That was quick. I forgive myself. As I forgive myself, I leave behind all feelings of not being good enough, and I'm free to love myself. Yes, yes, pile number 2. It's exactly perfect for this reading. Don't be hating on yourself because you've been running these programs, or you've been sitting in this space and you're annoyed with yourself because you keep repeating the same patterns. That's not what this reading is about. This reading is about acknowledging, you know, that even though it hasn't been in your highest good to continue this pattern, it's also given you some huge recognition of your gifts, because by putting others first is actually a lovely quality, and we are here to serve others. But just remember, you have to do it from a full cup. You can't be doing it from a self-deprecating space. So this is just a highlighter to know that your gifts are good, but just change the course of them, change the point of attraction and the point of attention of them. So don't be hating on yourself, forgive yourself, and just leave all those feelings behind. And release those toxic thoughts that you are having of yourself, or those feelings of anger because you haven't moved past this yet. So yeah, I hope this has helped. Yeah, see you next time. Thanks a million. Hi, pile 3. Okay, spleen. Oh yeah. The spleen is actually a perfect example of when you're in a space of venting because you don't like where you're at the moment, and then this desire to have some sweetness in your life. It's like, it's such a, you know, swings and roundabouts. It's like, oh, yeah, so it's just trying to find a way to move past that. You might even be craving some sweet things. You might even be comfort eating during these periods, because spleen energy has that, you know, it filters the life force, which is our blood, right? So, you know, we just might have like a higher sugar craving, and, you know, that picking up the energy where we're just being depleted a lot. So just food for thought there. But yeah, you want to maybe rub these points. So they're just about 4 finger spaces above the knee on the inside of your leg. They might even be tender. I'm actually just going to rub mine now. Actually, yeah, these are tender too. So I'm just going to rub them on your behalf as well. And the optimal time for the spleen energy is between 9 and 11 a.m. But you can rub these points anytime. It's just for extra info. But yeah, what is it that you need to vent about? You might even need to express yourself. You know, we've talked a lot about the throat chakra and standing in your own power, you know. So you might need to, you know, yeah, you might just need to spill something out, maybe journal it. Like, I'm not asking you to direct it to anyone particularly, but it's just, maybe you need to just find a way to express it first so that you can move past this energy. Yeah, I'm just going to get you a final message, pile 3, just to close out the reading. But if you feel that this message has resonated, I'd actually love to hear your story if you're happy to share. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love that support. But yeah, let's get you a final message for Aries, pile 3. All my relationships are harmonious. Yeah, again, another mention of harmony. There's been a lot of, even in the other piles, a need for balance and a need for harmony. And I mean, that's all through this reading with the Justice card and the 2 of Pentacles. So there's definitely a need to find a link between your higher self and your grounded self. So find ways to create that. So when we create harmony in our minds and hearts, we'll find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer, always. Right, so yeah, exactly what we've been talking about, you know. Find that win-win. Bring in your thoughts to create the vision that you need. Bring this down to create a soft bridge for yourself so that you're supported through the hard times, and not in this space of fear where you're walking a tightrope bridge all the time and, you know, worrying about, you know, sidestepping things. Go directly to your source, which is you, and find a way to find that harmony within yourself with your own vision and your own insights. So yeah, I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
In all of us, in our hearts, there's love and light that we must realize.